My name is Philip Hensley, and my topic for video 1 is Archaea. Archaea are also known as Archaea bacteria, although recent science has shown that they really don't have a lot in common with bacteria other than the fact that they do look the same under the microscope. Archaea are single-celled prokaryotic organisms that have molecular characteristics that set them apart from being classified in the bacteria domain or the eukarya domain. They actually they're classified in their own domain. They are some of the oldest living organisms on Earth, and they are probably most widely known for inhabiting some of the most extreme environments on the planet. So here we have the tree of life, if you will. It basically just shows the three domains of life, which are bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. It labels here in the middle some different types of archaea, which include hyperthermophiles, methanogens, and extreme halophiles. Next, we have the morphology or the cellular makeup of archaea. I mentioned earlier that they have some characteristics that set them apart from being classified in the bacteria or eukarya domains. So the way that they differ from eukarya is that they lack a membrane-bound nucleus. You can see here in the middle, they just contain a nucleoid, which is just a cluster of DNA, basically. Um, and we all know that eukarya contain a membrane-bound nucleus, a very defined nucleus in the center of the cell. Um, and the way that archaea differ from bacteria is here in the cell wall, labeled in yellow. The cell wall of archaea lacks a peptidoglycan layer, which all bacteria are known to have. And another way that the archaea is different from both bacteria and eukarya is the plasma membrane, labeled here in green. The phospholipids contain glycerol ether lipids instead of glycerol ester lipids, which basically what these ether lipids do is it just makes the cell stronger or more resistant to chemical stress, basically, which may allow these microorganisms to thrive in more extreme environments. There at the bottom, I just state that archaea occur in different shapes, such as spheres, rods, spirals, things of that nature. So I mentioned that archaea are their own domain. So within a domain, you have different phyla, and the two main phyla of the archaea domain are Euryarchaeota, which consist of methanogens, extreme halophiles, thermoacidophiles, and then the second one being Crenarchaeota, which consists of hyperthermophiles. Here at the bottom, we have some relatively new phyla that are being introduced, the core Archaeota, Nano Archaeota, and Thaumarchaeota. There's not really a lot of evidence right now to suggest adding these, but scientists are discovering new things that may lead to these three being actually introduced as phyla of the Archaea domain. So the first type of archaea that we're going to talk about are methanogens. We have a picture right here of some methanobacterium. Methanogens are anaerobic microorganisms that grow in the presence of carbon dioxide, and when they're introduced to this carbon dioxide, that actually helps them um, metabolize and produce methane gas. They usually live in swamps and marshes and other places under anaerobic conditions, also in the gut of cattle and other animals, and termites and herbivores and other things. One example is the methanobacterium, which create ATP by reducing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere using hydrogen to draw in the carbon dioxide, which then produces the methane gas. Next, we have extreme halophiles. A picture right here of halobacteria. Extreme halophiles are microorganisms that grow in extremely salty environments. They thrive there, usually in salt concentrations of upwards of 20 to 30% of the total solution. Um, they live in areas such as salt lakes, inland seas, and evaporated ponds of seawater. They actually require salt for growth. The example I'm using is Halobacterium, very high tolerance for elevated salinity levels, which basically just means the salt concentration of the solution. And they may actually produce acidic proteins that help them resist the salty conditions and keep them from being denatured and whatnot. Next, we have thermoacidophiles. They are extremophilic microorganisms that grow under temperatures or grow under conditions of both high temperature and low pH. They prefer temperature between 70 to 80 degrees and a pH between 2 to 3, which is really hot and really acidic. They live in areas such as hot springs and sulfatoric environments within deep sea vents or other environments of geothermal activity um, where there's a lot of plate shiftment going on. One example pictured right here is the thermococci. They play a crucial role in the ecology of the deep sea hydrothermal vents, especially where a lot of the gas and water reactions take place in the ocean. Next, we have hyperthermophiles, which are microorganisms that really thrive in extremely hot temperatures, usually from anywhere from like 60 degrees Celsius and upwards. So that's getting really hot. Um, Known to live in hydrothermal vents, under the water where the platonic shiftments are going on, and also volcanic vents. Um, One example is Paralobus fumari. Um, couldn't find a picture of that one, but this particular type of hyperthermophile was first found in a black smoker hydrothermal vent in the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and gets really hot down there, and it set the upper temperature for known life at about 113 degrees Celsius. So that's about 235 degrees Fahrenheit, just to kind of give you an idea of how hot this particular hyperthermophile can react and live. And that's all I got. You are welcome to use this video for educational purposes in the future. Thank you.